Experts say an industry that feeds millions of families across the country faces a growing problem.
According to the most recent data, farmers are the oldest workforce in America with a typical age of 58. As they reach retirement, there's mounting fears the next generation won't be able to keep up with food production demand.
In a 2023 report, current Indiana Governor and then Senator Mike Braun said the future of the nation's food supply chain, quote, looms in jeopardy.
Now that we know the problem, we want to look at some of the solutions to replenish our farm fields with workers.
First, we head to rural Nebraska, where reporter Peter Zampa shows us one example of how the next generation is taking charge.
Technology befitting a special operations command center, squeezed into the cockpit of a good old tractor.
It'll drive itself, it's going to hold it in a straight line.
Jet is 17 years old, working at 37 Ag, a relatively new family business.
Ag has kind of forced the business models to become bigger and bigger.
But he and his 25-year-old brother are the family's sixth generation to farm this land, where soybeans and corn reign supreme.
It's just a legacy in general. It's something that my grandpa, he built up, and my dad, they've worked hard for it, and I want to take it over and know that they're in good hands.
Begging for rain, and now we've gotten rain and we're out of the fields.
Jet and Grady have helped around the farm since they could walk. They spend every day here, mostly because they love it. But they now have the responsibility of maintaining the business, and the overhead cost for an operation like this, millions of dollars.
There's always places to spend money, especially in this ag economy, and it's deciding which ones are really worth the money and provide a return.
Grady says modernizing is not for show, but to improve the bottom line. Using new equipment to plant and spray chemicals eliminates waste.
The seed is in here, it's going to come out, it's going to get metered by this.
Over all of our acres, what we would call our pre-emerge herbicide and fertilizer pass, we were within 0.5% of what we were supposed to use. What would have been 10% 5 years ago.
Grady also created a separate revenue stream that started as a high school project.
We were growing a lot more corn on corn instead of rotating to beans every other year, and we had a lot of residue with that, and we were having a hard time tilling through it, planting through it the next year. So we found my project in high school was to try to remove not all of the residue, but half or 60% of the residue, and be able to have that as another revenue stream to feedlots.
Grady sees promise in automation and believes in 10 years he could have a system that plants, harvests, and sprays by itself. Jet says it'll never fully replace life on the farm that they know and love.
There's something that it makes it's satisfying to me, just all your hard work and getting reward of the highest yield. There's years you don't make any money, and sometimes it's just your pride and joy.
As the Johnsons hope to pass their operation on to a seventh generation, a family farm in Iowa also embraces technology and the form of artificial intelligence. Michael and Dennis Gallagher use precision planting spraying equipment with built-in AI. By outfitting their self-propelled sprayer with intelligent cameras, they can detect weeds in real time and apply chemicals just where they're needed. The result? Less waste and more productivity. Before AI, the Gallaghers would treat entire fields just to avoid missing a weed.
We're eliminating, probably over the course of a year, half of the chemical that's going into the land and the environment.
Between the nozzle hardware and supporting tech, they've invested about $125,000, but they say they're confident the system will pay off in the long run.